Hello and welcome to this week's live weekly warm-up. This week is kind of an exciting one because we're going to be doing a little bit of a follow-up from a previous one that we did. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you all think of that. And just before we get started with the actual clarinet warm-up stuff, I just want to say a quick little message about all the crazy stuff that's been happening with the coronavirus. I hope everybody's staying safe and keeping socially distanced from everyone else so that we can stop the spread of this. And what better way to do that than sitting in your own little practice room or in your home and practicing your clarinet. So hopefully this exercise will give you some stuff to work on and you can enjoy going over this as you're spending your week with maybe a little bit more practice time, staying safe and healthy. So this one is going to be a follow-up from the sort of New Year's resolution, New Year's challenge video that I made back at the start of this year. I also did a weekly live warm-up at the beginning of this year that went over what this exercise is, but this is going to be a little bit of a next step or adaptation. So that first one was just about starting notes, and the challenge for you was to play many, many different just like long notes, just starting notes, something sort of like this. Something like that. And the goal of that was to really focus on having that good sound preparation process where you're taking a breath in, setting your embouchure, and starting a note really clearly. And then making sure that you're sustaining the note really smoothly and consistently, and then finishing it very nicely. So I would love to hear in the comments anybody who's actually been doing that, and if you felt like it's had any benefit for you so far. But today we're going to sort of take that to the next step. So by now we've been doing it for about 3 months. I've been doing it in my own practicing, and I've really enjoyed being really picky about myself and how I'm getting every note to come out, and I think it's been really helpful. So the next step is to add some more variety and more interest to that. So with the ones that I just demonstrated and the ones that we've been doing, it's been a very sort of straightforward mezzo forte note with a really square note shape, a good beginning, maybe a little bit of a nice taper at the end because we want a good finish to every note, but it hasn't been very interesting or robust, and that's what we're going to add today is some different varieties of this that we can do. I'm going to categorize this in maybe a bit of articulation because we're going to be dealing a lot with note shapes, but it's also still a long tone exercise because we want every single one of those notes to sound really, really great as well. So, we're going to do the same exact kind of exercise where we're just taking one note and playing it and making it sound really great, but we're going to change the shape to it. So we might start with a loud beginning and then a decay, sort of in an accent. Maybe we'll make it really short, so it's as if it's a staccato note. And we're going to experiment around with this to get not just a good, super healthy one note, but lots of different note shapes and some interesting shapes to the note so we can have that variety of articulation in the music that we're actually playing. So let me go ahead and demonstrate this on a few different notes and a few different note shapes and also a few different dynamics, because being able to start notes and sustain notes soft and loud and all of the different dynamics is also extremely important. So you'll notice as I was going through that, number one, I repeated each note a few times to make sure I really felt good about the shape that I was getting. So basically what the process as you go through this is to first pick the note that you're going to play. Second, pick the note shape that you're going to do, whether it's a staccato or an accent or soft or loud. Pick all of those things so that you know what you're aiming for and have like an imagination of what you want to sound like, and then play it a few times and see if you can get exactly the response from the instrument that you're imagining in your head on each note. Then you'll also notice that I took a breath in between every single note so that there wasn't it wasn't just continuing one note stream. I was practicing restarting everything. That whole sound preparation process of breathing, setting the embouchure as many times as we can practice that, and then get the desired results we want to come out of the instrument, the better. So that's basically it for this exercise, but you can see there's sort of like an unlimited number of possibilities with this. You can do it on all of the different notes, so that adds a lot of different variety. You can do many, many different note shapes where there's the strong start and then decay like an accent, short note lengths, soft, loud, medium. You could even do some more weird note shapes that we don't come across a lot in music, but maybe like a little crescendo, like a where it's a little push. We don't do that very often in music. It tends to sound a little bit unmusical in the context of normal music, but every now and then it does come up, and it's good to have all of that control. If you can do that, then you're also able to not do that when you don't want to do that. So it's good to have all of that variety of control. So this should keep you busy because there's, again, an unlimited variety. You could also get a little bit more fastidious with this and do it on all of the notes for a given note shape. So say you're going to do like accents and you play like up through your chromatic scale, the whole range, doing like 3 accents per note. Again, new sound preparation process and starting a whole new note, every single note as you go up. And you can imagine that'd probably take like 5 to 10 minutes going all the way through to like really get that precise, and you would get a lot of repetitions of starting a really good accent note. So by the end of that, you should be able to do it on every single note of the instrument with a really good sound quality. So I hope this is helpful. I hope this gives you some interesting stuff to be thinking about and practicing. Really, I challenge you to add this into the challenge that you've already hopefully been doing every day, where you're doing your just one long notes. Now we can add another layer of doing our one note long tone kind of things with these different note shapes, and that'll add so much more to your articulation repertoire and so much more to your control and confidence controlling the instrument. So I hope that's helpful. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, if you want more warm-ups, you can like the Quick Start Clarinet Facebook page, subscribe to the Quick Start Clarinet YouTube channel, and hit the bell icon to get notifications. If you like this video, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're watching, that really helps me to know that you're enjoying this kind of content. And remember to feel free to ask any questions you have in the comments. Even if you're watching a replay of this and it's not actually live, I'll still be sure to reply to your comments in the chat or in the comments later. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week for the next live weekly warm-up.